This is the Padua Podcast Network.
At that time, there were documents that showed that she was 118. The Kestenbaum study determined that her age was actually 117 years, 248 days when she died. Of course, this is 10 years after she died. Running a Fever, episode 167, Living to 100, Lucy Hanna. Oh yeah, how you doing? Great day to be out, huh? Welcome to the show. Michael Davis here, loving life, living long. So, weather department, official Running a Fever temperature, 68 degrees. It's partly cloudy. Most of the clouds look harmless, big fluffy things. We had a thunderstorm yesterday. Maybe what changed the weather, because I've been listening the last few episodes, which were recorded in the last week. Both outings I had were in the 80s temperature-wise. And windy. There's a little bit of wind today, but I'm in the trees right now, so not as much wind to worry about. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. As I was saying, official Running Fever temperature 68 degrees, partly cloudy, and we had a thunderstorm. So it's a really nice day to be out. I noticed a lot of cars in the parking lot. I anticipate a lot of traffic on the trail, especially near the parking lots. So I started on the, it's always difficult to describe from the air. It's clockwise around the lake, and so that's the direction I'm going in. It puts me right into, gets me away from the traffic in the parking lot quicker, so I can start talking to you quicker. I've been doing a lot more walking and various other activities lately, just trying to get a little more, burn a few more calories, and it feels good. I've definitely had enough energy to go out and do this, so it feels good to go out, and it feels good to be out here, and it's, you know, it all kind of matches together. But I need to burn more calories to sort of get back to where I need to be, body composition wise. You know, there was a point at which I was 23-24%. Now I'm back up to probably 28-29%. So we're looking to bring that down. And in addition to, you know, just wanting to come out and get some good exercise and fresh air, I've had a lot to talk about. I've really been excited about this Super Centenarian series that we've been going through. And that's the beautiful thing about this podcast. I sometimes feel pretty selfish, because this is the stuff I want to learn about, the stuff I want to research, and then I get to share it with you. It's all part of the podcast. And today in our Super Centenarian countdown, we've gotten to Lucy Hanna. This is the eighth in the series, and she is number 4 on the list. Lucy lived from July 16th, 1865 to March 21st, 1993, a total of 117 years, 248 days. These are all documented, verified birth certificates, witnesses, etc. So census seems to be a pretty important thing. And the higher you get on the list, just like anything, the more scrutiny you come under. And I don't think necessarily that Lucy cared about the scrutiny, but someone, you know, brought attention to her by probably submitting to a lot of times that's what happens, is they submit an application to the Guinness organization, Guinness Book of World Records, to be listed as the oldest person alive. Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
So another sort of special thing is that Hanna's family claimed that she was 118. Apparently, the Social Security Administration at that time, there were documents that showed that she was 118. However, a later study that's very interesting, I read the whole thing, the Kestenbaum study by the Social Security Administration in 2003 determined that her age was actually 117 years, 248 days when she died. Of course, this is 10 years after she died. Lucy was American. She's number 4 on the list of all-time longest-lived people. Oldest ever African American, and was never the oldest living person because she lived during the lifetime of Jeanne Calment, which is the queen of longevity, and we'll talk about her in an episode in the future, in the near future. And Jeanne outlived Lucy by 4 years, and she was already 5 months. She was 5 months older, basically. And then after Lucy died, but they were born in the same year, so she was never considered the oldest living person. Probably, I should say validly, because again, some documents claimed that she was older. So she might have been considered the oldest person ever to live, but she was never the oldest person alive or the oldest person to ever have lived. There are only 2 Americans on the list, and we talked about how Japan dominates the list, but there are 2 Americans. The United States is a very populous country, one of the largest countries in the world by population. So I think the United States is in the top 5. I have to check on that. But yeah, I think after India, China, Russia maybe. Lucy was born in Linden, Alabama. I used to live on Linden Street. Linden is a type of tree. Linden, Alabama, and she died in Detroit, Michigan. She was African American and may have left Alabama due to racial tensions there. I'm not sure if Detroit would have been much better, but you know, honestly, I don't think I've ever been to Detroit. I don't think I've ever been to Detroit. I've definitely been to Alabama a number of times. She had 2 sisters that both lived to be 100, and her mother died at the age of 99, so could be a kind of a genetic thing going on there. Definitely runs in the family. She married John Hanna in 1901, and she had 8 children and outlived 6 of those children. Only 2 of them survived her. Now, information about Lucy is sparse, mainly because she wasn't really known for her age during her lifetime, even though she was the 2nd oldest living person. A lot of traffic now, but it's mostly bicycles. So what did we learn? Well, we don't know about Lucy's diet or lifestyle or much of anything, except where she lived. And that genetics may have played a strong part in her longevity. I'm interested in the Kestenbaum study by the Social Security Administration. I have read it. It is relatively short, but the key point to our series is that it checked birth and death certificates, and those resulted in some changes. Howdy. Those resulted in some changes, like what happened in this case. Her final age was modified by a year. So plenty of links to the information that I talked about here, including the Kestenbaum report on the website, runningfever.com/167. You can always find the page for a particular episode by that episode number. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and continue to listen and your favorite podcatcher to Running a Fever. Hope you enjoyed this. If you already got the fever, that's awesome. Keep it. If you just got here, then welcome. Catch the fever, and I will talk to you next time on Running a Fever.